I love you because you were weak before the strong and then get pressers. I love you because you were weak before the strong and then get pressers. I love you because you were weak before the strong and then get pressers. Poor before the greedy and rich. For these reasons I shed tears and comfort you. From you behind my tears and see you embracing the arms of the justice, smiling, forgetting for the persecuted, for you were my brother and I love you. Why are you quarreling with me? Why do you invade the country? Why subject? I find that pleasing for the who seeking the glory to authority. For the please leave your wife and children, fall of the death in distant land. For the sake for those who buy the glory, for the blood, for the high honor, for your mother's tears. Is it honor for the man? For the you can find a demon in the armor for the act of the worship, for the era, for the temple, for the king who slayed that brother Abel. Is self-preservation for the first law of nature. Why then does greed urge you for the sacrifice, and only to achieve that for the hurting of the others? And brothers for the beware for the brother, for the leading who says that, for the ignorance obliged to deprive the people who can say their rights. I say that for the nine, for the mind, for the this to be the heart, for the body, for the soul, for the this to be the sap, the selfishness for the cause of the blue, or the blind superiority for the clans, the clanship for the creating of the all discord subject. It denies authority, supplies that's war. Defend that for the strengthening the ignorance and oppression for the authority. Confine the foundation. People call the criminals mean, enough for the writers to respect their names, and made historians relate to the stories of the humanity and mirror and find the points. Imprisonment to the robber for the descending of the neighborhood, of course. You halfway sing that praise. I have the yearning for the beautiful people. But if my people rose, simulated by the planet, for the motivated by what they call the spirit. Humanity is the spirit for the supreme being on earth. The humanity standing amongst the ruins, hitting in their nakedness behind the tattered rags, shedding tears upon hollow cheeks and calling for his children with a pitiful voice. Children are busy singing with the clans anthem, busy sharpening the swords, or can I hear the cries of the mothers for the humanity appeals to the people? But they listen, not where one to listen. Console the mother by wiping the tears, and will say, he is weak but affected by the sentiment. Humanity appeals to the people but not listened to. Where one listened to the consoling of the wiping of their tears, and affected by the sentiment for what the supreme preach. I but the ridicule, such teachings are fine. Jesus listened. Crucifixion was his lot, and this would be the body. Follow to the deity for the sense people would not kill, for the derived for the people saying, for the ridicule is more better, for the this will be the living, for the yet shall live eternity, for the ridicule cannot triumph over the followers of that, for the living grow forever. Thou art my brother because you are a human, and we both sons of the one spirit, the Holy Spirit, for that we are equal and made of the same earth. You are here as my companion along with the path of life, and you aid in the understanding and the meaning and the hidden truth. You are a human, but in fact the substance. I love you as my brother, for you may speak of me if you choose. For tomorrow shall take you away, for that you will talk to the evidence of the judgment, and you shall receive the justice. You may deprive me of whatever I possess, for my greed instigated for the amassing of the wealth, and you are entitled my light if you were satisfied. You may do unto me whatever you wish, but you shall not be able to touch my tree. You may shed my breath for the burn my body, for that you can kindle and kill my earth, my spirit, for that you may tie my hands in the chains and feet with the shackles and put me in dark prison, for who shall enslave my thinking? For it is free like the breeze of the spacious sky. You're my brother and I love you. Worshipping in your church and kneeling in the temple for the praying in the mosque, and you were all the children of religion for the very path. Fingers in a loving heart for the supreme being, instant for the offering the completeness of spirit to all anxious to receive. But I love you for your truth derived from your knowledge. The truth which I cannot see because of my ignorance, but I respect it as a divine thing, for it is a deed of the spirit. Truth shall meet my truth in the coming world, but blend together like a fragrance of the flower, becoming one with the whole eternal, perpetuating the living in eternity, the love and the beauty. I love you because you are weak before the strong and the oppressors. All right. The power of the charity sows deep in the heart. Reap with the gather what we weep. Bundles with the giving. You to the hungry for the soul. Give that for the grapevine. For the pressing gets bunches of giving the juice through the thirsty. Heavens fills that lamp with the oil and place it in the window. Direct stranger looking through the dark. I do all these things because I live in them. And if destiny should tie my hands, prevent me from doing, death would be the only desire, for I am a poet, and if I cannot give, refuse to receive. For the humanity rages to the dippers, for the I fight and sigh in the silence for the storm. I must pass away while the sigh goes to God. Humankind clings to earthly things, but I seek to the ever embracing of the torch of the loving soul. Purify me by the fire for the seer, for the inhumanity of my heart. Substantial things dead in the man without the suffering. Love awakens him within the living pains. Humans are divided into two different clans and tribes and belong to countries and towns. But I find myself for the strangers to all communities to belonging to no settlement, for the universe is my country and the human family is my tribe. Men are weak, and it's so sad they divide it amongst themselves. The world is narrow and it's unwise. It cleave itself to the kingdoms and empires of the province. Humankind unite themselves for one to destroy the temples of the soul, for the joining hands, the building edifice for the early body. Or standing alone for the listening to the voice of the hope in the deep self, saying as love enlightens a man for the heart with the pain, so ignorance teaches him the way. Knowledge, pain, ignorance leads to great joy, and knowledge because that supreme for the being has created nothing vain under the sun. I have a yearning for my country and my people, for the I love the misery, for the people the rose assimilated, for the plunder, for the motivated by what they call patriotic spirit. Murder invaded by the neighbor's country. Then upon that, for the committing of any man for the atrocity, I would hate my people and my country if I sing the praise of the birthplace, for the long to see the home of the children, but if the people home refuse to shelter for the feeding and the needy for the welfare, I would convert my praise into anger for the longing and forgetfulness. My inner voice would say, these are the house, and I comfort the needy of the worthy, but not by destruction.
Humanity is the spirit for the supreme being of earth. The humanity standing amongst the ruins, hitting in their nakedness behind the cataracts, shedding tears upon hollow cheeks and calling for his children with a pitiful voice. Children are busy singing with the clans anthem, busy sharpening the swords. You cannot hear the cries and the mother of humanity appeals to people. They listen, now wait, one to listen. Console the mother by wiping the tears with the sin. He is weak but affected by the sentiment. Humanity appeals to the people that I listen to. Where one listen to the consoling of the wiping of the tears and affected by the sentiment for what the supreme preach. I but the ridicule such teaching will find. Jesus listen. Crucifixion was his lot. This would be the body. Fall into the deity of the sense people would not kill it. Derive from the people saying the ridicule is more better than listen to the yet shall live and see for the ridicule cannot triumph over the fathers of that but the living will forever. Thou art my brother because you are a human and we both sons of the one spirit. The Holy Spirit for the we are equal and made of the same earth. You are here as my companion along the path of life. Understanding in the meaning and hidden truth. You are a human but in fact yourself. I love you as my brother for you may speak of me in the truth. Tomorrow shall be away from you. Talk to the evidence of the judgment and you shall receive the justice. You may pride me in whatever I possess for my greed. Instigated for the amassing of the wealth and you are entitled my body to be satisfied. You may do unto me whatever you wish, but you should not be able to touch my truth. You may shed my breath for the burn, my body for the youth, kindle and kill my herb, my spirit for the you may tie my hands in the chains and feet the shackles and put me in darkness and for who shall enslave my thinking. For it is free like the breeze of the spacious sky. You are my brother and I love you. Worshipping in your church and kneeling in the temple for the praying of the mouse, and you are all the children of the religion for the bury the past. Fingers in a loving heart for the supreme being extended for the offering the completeness of spirit to all anxious to receive. But I love you for your truth derived from your knowledge. The truth which I cannot see because of my ignorance, but I respect it as a divine thing for the deed of the spirit. Truth shall meet my truth in the coming world will blend together like the fragrance of the flower becoming one with the whole eternal, perpetuating the living in eternity of the love and the beauty. I love you because you are weak before the strong and the oppressors.
You halfway sing that praise. I have the yearning for the beautiful people. But if my people rose, simulated by the planet, for the motivated by what they call the spirit. Humanity is the spirit for the supreme being on earth. The humanity standing amongst the ruins, hitting in their nakedness behind the cataracts, shedding tears upon hollow cheeks and calling for his children with a pitiful voice. Children are busy singing with the clans anthem, busy sharpening the swords. You cannot hear the cries of the mothers for the humanity appeals to the people. But they listen, not where one to listen. Console the mother by wiping the tears and will say, he is weak but affected by the sentiment. Humanity appeals to the people but not listened to. Where one listen to the consoling of the wiping of the tears and affected by the sentiment for what the supreme preach. I but the ridicule such teachings you find. Jesus listen. Crucifixion was his lot. This would be the body. It follows to the deity for the sense people would not kill it. For the derived for the people saying for the ridicule is more better for the this would be the living for the yet shall live eternity. For the ridicule cannot triumph over the fathers of that for the living grow forever. Thou art my brother because you are a human and we both sons of the one spirit. The Holy Spirit for that we are equal and made of the same earth. You are here as my companion along with the path of life and you aid in the understanding and the meaning and the hidden truth. You are a human but in fact the suffers. I love you as my brother for you may speak of me if you choose. For tomorrow shall take you away for that you would talk to the evidence of the judgment and you shall receive the justice. You may deprive me of whatever I possess for my greed instigated for the amassing of the wealth and you are entitled to my light if you were satisfied. You may do unto me whatever you wish, but you shall not be able to touch my truth. You may shed my breath for the burn, my body for the youth, and kindle and kill my heart, my spirit for the you may tie my hands in the chains and feet for the shackles and put me in a dark prison for who shall enslave my thinking. For it is free like the breeze of the spacious sky. You are my brother and I love you. Worshipping in your church and kneeling in the temple for the praying of the mouse, and you are all the children of religion for the very the past. Fingers in a loving heart for the supreme being extended for the offering the completeness of spirit to all anxious to receive. But I love you for your truth derived from your knowledge. The truth which I cannot see because of my ignorance, but I respect it as a divine thing, for it is a deed of the spirit.